Write down the value of under root 49. 49 is a square number, so we get 49 by timesing 7 to itself. So 7 times 7 gives you 49. So under root 49 is 7. Work out the value of 3 cube. 3 cube is 3 times 3 times 3. So we multiply 3 to itself 3 times to get 3 cube. So the answer, the value for this is 3 times 3 is 9, 9 threes is 27. Write 10,000 as a power of 10. So 10,000, I can write it as 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So as a power of 10, it is 10 raised to power 4. 1 pound has got 16 ounces. Work out the number of ounces in 3 pounds. So if there are 16 ounces in a pound, then how many are there in 3 pounds? So you do 16 times 3. 3 6 is 18. 3 ones is 3 plus 1 is 4. 48 ounces are there in 3 pounds. Write 3 halves as a mixed number. So as a mixed number, first I can write 3 half is like saying half plus half plus half. So when I add them, half plus half plus half gives me 3 halves. So this is an equivalent form of representing 3 halves. So if I take this and see if half plus half is equal to 1 as a whole number. So this is 1 and we have half to it. So 1 and half. This 3 halves is, as a mixed number, is 1 and half. Work out 1/5 plus 1/5. So 1/5 added to another 1/5 is 2/5. Write down all the factors of 20. So factors of 20 are those numbers which multiply to get the answer as 20. So 1 times 20 gives me 20. 2 times 10 gives me 20. 3, no. 4 times 5 gives me 20. Then 5 times 4 gives me 20, but I've covered them here. And then next is 10 times 2 gives me 20. So I've covered all the factors. I will write the list now. 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. These are all the factors of 20. Micah says when 2 multiples of 5 are added, the answer is always a multiple of 10. Give one example to show that he is wrong. He assumes that if 2 multiples of 5 are added, what are the multiples of 5? The multiples of 5 are the numbers which comes in the timetable of 5, which are 5, 10, 15, 20. These are all the multiples of 5. He assumes that if 2 of the multiples of 5 are added, the answer is always a multiple of 10. So if I take any 2 multiples of 5, 5 and 10, and add them, I get the answer 15. But I see that 15 is not a multiple of 10. 15 is not a multiple of 10. So I have proved that Micah is wrong. Put these values in order of size starting with the smallest. So the numbers here are in percentage, decimal, and a fraction. To figure out which of them has the smallest value, either convert them all into fractions or percentage or decimal in one proper format. So I'm going with percentage. So already the first one is in percentage. The next number, which is a decimal, so 0.7 as a percent is 70%. So I times it with 100 to get its percentage value. 3/4. So 3/4. We know 1/4 is 25%. Then 3/4 is 75%. So now I have all these numbers in percentage. I can figure out the least of them, which is 70%. So I write the original number given in the question as the least value, which is 0.7. The next is 3/4. The highest of them is 80%. Well, I have to write it them here actually. So this is 0.7, 3/4, and 80%. And this is the space for all this working. Sally buys 2 hats and 3 scarves. The total cost is 28.5 pounds. Each hat costs 4.5 pounds. Work out the cost of each scarf. So the total money she will pay for buying 2 hats and 3 scarves is 28.5 pounds. And one of the hat cost 450 pounds. She bought 2 hats, so its value will be 450 times 2. Double of 450 is 9 pounds. So 2 of the hats cost 9 pounds. The remaining amount is for scarves. So I take away 9 from 28.50 to get the amount she will be paying for the scarves, for 3 scarves. This is 50 cents, and then this 18, 18 take away 9 is 9. 19.5 pounds are remaining now. This is for the amount for 3 scarves. Three scarves is worth 19.50, so one scarf will be, you need to divide 19.50 by 3. 3 goes in 19 6 times. So 3 6 is 18, 1 remains 15, so there is a decimal here. 3 5s is 15. So the cost of one scarf is 650 pounds. "120 people visit a maze. 80 are children and the rest are adults. At the start of the maze, you can turn either left or right. 45 children turn left and 75 people in total turn left. Complete the frequency table, a tree." So we have got total 120 people, of which some of them are children and the rest are adults. There are 80 children, so 80 goes in here, and the remaining are adults, which is 80. You need to take away from 120 to give you the number of adults. Now we have, at the start of the maze, you can either go left or right. 45 children turn left. So out of 80, 45 of them goes left. How many will go right? So total is 80. You need to take away 45 from 80 to get 35 remaining. So 35 of the children will go right. And also it says that 75 people in total. So here in total means the children and the adults together who are going left are 75. So this plus this is 75. So if this is 45, this has to be 30. Because 30 plus 45 has to be 75. So now the remaining here, this part of the cell, there are 40 adults, out of which 30 go left and the remaining 10 goes right. What fraction of the children turn left? To find the fraction of children who goes left, we have to find how many of the children goes left. Let me highlight it. So 45 children goes left out of a total of 80 children. So as a fraction, I will write 45 out of 80. And answer has to be in simplest form, so you can simplify it by dividing the numerator and denominator by 5 to get, so 45. 5 goes into 45 9 times, and 5 goes in 80. 5 once is 5. We have got 3 as a remainder, 30. So 5 goes in 36 times. 9 over 16 is the simplest form of the fraction. The table shows information about where students prefer to revise. So there is this table where it's given like 30 children or 30 students prefer to revise in the library. 68 of them revise at home, and 37 like to revise in the class. For this information, Ed draws his bar chart to represent the data. And here is his bar chart. Here we see he has given some the bars for library, home, and in class. We have to figure out what are the three errors he made while he's drawing this bar chart. First thing I figured out is that the labels are missing for the x and y axis. So we don't know what is this data here on the y axis. So it's he actually meant they have to be the like the number of children. So he needs to mention that as a label. So that labels are missing. And what else is there? So library, there are 30 children. So for library, the height of the bar has to be 30. That's correct. And for home, there are 68 children. So home has got, so this is 62, 64, 66. He made an error here. Instead of drawing it for 68, he drew the height as 66. So the height here has to be like this. This is 68. He has drawn it for 66. And the other thing here I see is that the width of this bar is not same as the width of other bars. So in a bar chart, we need to take care that all the widths has to be same. So these are some of the things we figured out. So let's write it down. First thing is he missed the labels for x and y axis. He needs to write here like this is the frequency or the number of children, something like that. And the second mistake was he drew this bar for home. The height of the bar is not correct. The height for the bar home is not correct. Width of the third mistake is this width of in class number of students is different from other bar widths. So this width is not same as the width of the other. So this looks much thicker than these. So in a bar chart, we need to make sure that all the bars has got the same width.